We answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question yourself, you can visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir, we have a question here about the Prophet Muhammad, and the person is saying there's a hadith where it says that the Prophet Muhammad was the first to enter heaven. On the other hand, it seems that Jesus was risen up to God. So where did he go? Was he in heaven? And the person also points out that the Prophet, when he was risen up to heaven, he saw other prophets there. So what's going on there? Was the Prophet Muhammad the first to be risen up to heaven, or were there others?
There's no contradiction between these various statements, because the statement that the Prophet, peace be upon him, will be the first to enter paradise is referring to the Day of Judgment. After the judgment is rendered, after all of the accounting is taken and then the judgment is rendered, then the Prophet, peace be upon him, will be made to enter paradise first. But that does not negate the idea that there are other prophets already in paradise, meaning the prophets have died in the past, and they are somehow in that world, in that spiritual world, in which we might say that they have been buried in their graves, but at the same time their spirits are in paradise. And that accounts for the fact too that when the Prophet, peace be upon him, had this night experience, the night journey and ascension, he saw the spirits of the great prophets already in paradise.
All right, thank you for your time, Brother Shabir.
You're welcome.
We've been debunking historical documentations or alleged historical documentations, but today you are going to also use the Quran itself.
Yeah, the Quran. And this is something that would have to be here. If Muhammad did exist, he should be all through this book. What do you know about Muhammad in this book? Is he all through it?
Well, I mean, I'll give you the traditional understanding as a Muslim. Yeah, Muhammad is all through it, but if you ask me by name, probably a handful, 4 times.
Only 4 times that his name is in the Arabic.
That's right.
Now, all the way through in the English translation, they put Muhammad, 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 Muhammad,
Insertions,
always,
of course, yeah.
always in brackets. So for those who are watching, whenever you see the name Muhammad and it's in brackets, you know that that is an interpolation, that is a commentary. They're putting that as a commentary. It is not in the Arabic. And you can just, what I always do, I always make sure that I have the Arabic and the English next to each other. Do that. Make sure you have a Quran that has both side by side. So when you make this argument, you can go to the Muslim and say, where's it in the Arabic? Where's it in the Arabic? They're assuming it is. It's always, whenever it says representative of God or messenger of God or apostle of God or prophet of God, they assume and they put Muhammad's name in there, where in many cases he should not be there. In fact, if he is so important, if he is the greatest of all prophets, if this whole book was revealed to him and it refers to him over and over and over again, like in the Shahada, there is only one God but God, and Muhammad is his prophet, which is not found in the Quran as one title or as one phrase. It's separated, but the prophet of God, even the name itself means the praised one, is it not? Isn't that what it means in Arabic?
At least the translation of the name, yes, or the title.
So I asked this of Murad. Murad is, he understands Aramaic. He also understands and does an awful lot of work in the Syriac, but he also is a native Arab speaker. He is from the Middle East himself, and he has been working on this for years. And he and I did a video a number of months ago where we asked this very thing. And I said, okay, Murad, you're the one that has really worked on this. You understand the Quran. You have grown up with the Quran all your life. You know where these 4 references are. Let's look at the slide. Let's put the slide up there, and you can see the references there on the slide. There is Murad, a researcher from the Middle East and a native Arab speaker. And he says, Jay, do you really think that is Muhammad there? I mean, the Muhammad the man, when it refers to those 4 instances. Because there's only 4 instances. Now, stop and think. If this book is all about this God and this man, why is it we have 99 references to Isa in the Quran and only 4 references to Muhammad? What does that suggest to you?
Well, I mean, It's kind of peculiar, really, when you find Jesus, Moses, Abraham mentioned far more than the Prophet of Islam, who's supposedly the final messenger, the seal of the prophets, and so on and so forth. And so there's something really peculiar about this.
There's something odd about this.
Right.
If he is the one that is part of the Shahada, if he is there alongside Allah as the statement of faith that all Muslims must use whenever they are going into battle, whenever they are going and actually giving their life to, if they convert, if this is the case and he's right there with Muhammad all the time, I'm sorry, with God all the time, then why is it there's only 4 references of him to him in the Quran?
Right.
It shows that he's not, either he's second class or maybe that's not even him.
Isra and Miraj, the night journey of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. One night, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was taken on a miraculous journey known as Isra and Miraj. First, he traveled from Makkah to Jerusalem on the steed Burak. There he prayed at Al-Aqsa Mosque with past prophets. Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, ascended through the 7 heavens, meeting prophets like Adam, Musa, and Isa alayhi salam along the way. At the highest point, the Prophet, peace be upon him, was in the presence of Allah, who commanded the 5 daily prayers. He returned to Makkah in the same night, marking this journey as a profound miracle. Lesson: this event shows the closeness of the Prophet, peace be upon him, to Allah, and established Salah as a central practice in Islam.
Did Muhammad say that God spoke directly to him
No.
and he wrote it
The
down?
Prophet Muhammad got his revelation from the same way all the previous prophets did. What? Through the angel Gabriel.
Yeah, so he wrote it down, right?
No, the Prophet Muhammad couldn't read nor write.
All right.
The angel Gabriel brought the revelation from God and to the Prophet Muhammad. That's why we have a tradition in Islam of memorization.
All
We
right.
memorize the Quran. Imagine 600 pages. There's right now today, there's between 10 to 20 million people that memorize the whole Quran verbatim and word by word.
With the grace of Allah, at the very beginning, Allah mandated how many prayers? 5. No. See? Got you there. Allah Azza wa Jal mandated 50 prayers. And when he came down, he met Prophet Musa. And he told him what happened. He said, Allah gave me 50 prayers. He said, go back to Allah. 50, your people will not be able to pray those. It was reduced 5 by 5. But imagine if Musa, peace be upon him, was not there. And Allah Azza wa Jal kept these prayers as 50 prayers a day. In a 24 hours day, that means that every half an hour you have to go to the masjid and perform prayer. Would life been easy? No. Allah Azza wa Jal, with His grace and generosity, made it 5 with the reward of 50.
Abraham, he was thrown in the fire, didn't burn. Like if I throw you in the fire, you're gonna burn, right? But Abraham didn't. Moses split the ocean. Me and you can't split the ocean. The Prophet Muhammad, he split the moon. Can you split the moon? No way. That's a prophet, that's a miracle, right? You feel me? Yes, sir.